Hi, this video is to show a program that I've written as an extension to Paul McWhorter's Pico W lesson number 28, when he wanted us to use the PC as a client and a Pico W as the server and connect them and see what happens. Well, anyway, I decided that it would be more exciting to have the client on a Pico W and the server on the Pico W. So this is what I'm using. I've got one Pico W, and that's just my DHT11, which will be telling people the temperature and humidity when asked. And then I've got this, and it's just this is the client, and it will be displaying the data as it comes in, and it only displays it when it changes. And I'm also using a third Pico W that I'm going to be connecting actually to the PC at the same time, just to see how everything works. And I haven't learned how to use my soldering iron yet, which is why it doesn't have anything on it. Right, so we'll look at the code first. Is that the right one? No. And before we get started, I just wanted to show you something. In the chat session on lesson number 29, someone, I think it was Rob Akers, said, is there a way of finding out what Wi-Fi networks you have available? So I've written this little program, and I will just unplug if I can. It's very difficult to unplug this. Right, I've unplugged my little headerless Pico, and all it does is it's scanning for the networks, and then it's going through the results and just printing out the network name. So we'll run this, and there you have my 4 Wi-Fi networks available here. But enough of that. We'll go back to what the video is all about. Right, so I'll just show you these two programs. The one on the right is a server, and it's based on Paul's program, and the only thing of any interest at all, I've got import decode at the top, and I went into this ad nauseum in the previous video. And what it does is it's a way of being able to access Wi-Fi without storing your SSID and password actually on your Pico. And apart from that, it just has the DHT11 sensor, and if ever you get a message, unless it says stop, in which case the program will stop, it just measures the temperature and humidity, and it returns to whoever asked for a string containing centigrade temperature, Fahrenheit temperature, Kelvin, and humidity, and that's all it does. So the client program, it again uses a decode, and it's using the get address info for the Pico W server 2, which is the name that I've given to the server, rather than having to hard code in an IP address. And equally, I went on and on about this in my previous video. Then all it does, it says what's the temperature. It could be saying anything. It could be going what's the time, it could be just saying hello, and it goes off to the server. The server will return the string of the temperatures and humidity, which I'll split. If it if the data has changed from the last time, or it's the first time, I'll split it up. That print statement isn't needed, of course, because I'm not connected to anything that will print on, and then it just puts on the OLED the temperature in centigrade, Fahrenheit, blah 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 blah, and then it waits 3 seconds, and that's it. So we'll just demonstrate this. Plugging in the server, or I'm using, if I get rid of both of those, that's easier. I've just plugged in the server there, and I'm using a battery bank, so it isn't, they aren't connected to the PC, and I'll plug in the client with the screen if I can. Right, and it first of all comes up with temperature, and then it's waiting for some input, and it says temp C 25, temp F, can't read that, 2577, Kelvin is 298, and humidity is 45. And then with that, if I hold my hand on there, it's making the humidity go up. I can't get it to, it's very difficult to see, but if anything changes, the display changes. So that's all very simple. Then I've also got, if I go onto Thonny again, I've got 4 instances of Thonny. Now this is on the PC, the local. So I will just, this is almost exactly the same as Paul did. And apart from the fact that it is using the Pico W server 2 as opposed to, I'll make that a bit bigger, like that, as opposed to hard coded. So if I run this, right, it gives you the temperature, and then if I put my finger on there, the humidity's gone up. It's a hot day, so I don't think my hand will actually make it any hotter. Right, oh, the temperature's gone up, that's good, and the humidity's gone up. Right, and then if you watch this, not that you can see very well, right, that is still changing, so that's still working. Then if I go on to my final window, everything could go horribly wrong here. No, is it that one? Yes, it's that one. Right, this is connected to my little Pico W, which I'll unconnect first of all, disconnect even, just to make sure everything's starting clean. Right, we will get rid of that program. No, don't want that one, that one. Now this is just the same, apart from it's connecting to the network. So if we run that, waiting for connection, waiting for connection, hurrah, what is your command? So D, right, so simultaneously you can connect from the PC, you can connect from the little headerless Pico W, and you can connect to the other Pico W with the LCD. So that is just to prove that yes, you can connect to more than one client can connect. Very bad video, I'm afraid, but what do you expect?